it's Tmika. I just wanted to share with you the end result of the 8x8 mini album I created. This is the tutorial, so we'll start from the beginning to the end, which has already been recorded. But I quickly wanted to share with you how it's supposed to turn out, because I can't remember if I pushed the record button at the end to show you the final result. So this is the final result, and the tutorial will be uploaded over the next few days, so you guys can follow along with me if you want. Everything that I used and the prep video will be coming next, so I just wanted to quick show you how this mini album came out. So here it is, 8x8 tutorial, 8x8 mini album. This is the front cover, and then I have a little, when I give it to, this mini album will be for sale. So when I ship it, it will come with this little piece here, and that just shows you how big your photo should be in there. So that'll just pull out. But I just wanted to show you that without that black piece there. So lovely, lovely mini album. If you're interested in this mini album, check the link in the description box for more info. This is the inside cover. There are a lot of magnets, and this mini album has a lot of real estate for photos. So again, the pages are 7 3/4 by 7 3/4 because the book is 8x8. So this is, and it's almost an exact replica of the other one that I created. Photo mats, nice pocket here. Something different I did with this mini album is I added inserts. That's magnet closure, but I added inserts on all of the mats, and these are 7 1/4 by 7. Lots of places for photo. Another magnet photo here, opportunity for 4 by 6. 3 large journaling spots, or 2 large journaling spots and 1 small one. But you can put photos on the front and back of there. Here's this page. There's a magnet here. That's the inside there. Again, another photo insert is in the middle here. So they all have one. On each of the inside, they all have one. And then here's this page. Lots of opportunity for photos. 6 by 6, 4 by 6 mat there. There's some mats there. There's a flip down here in the front and the top. And that has a magnet closure. Another magnet closure over here for this waterfall. You can fit 7 photos there. And then this opens up like such, and then there's a little booklet in here. Large places for photos there. Insert in there. This opens up this way, magnetized. Another magnet here. Close it, keeping your photos safe from falling out. Flap, big photo there. Insert in there. And another flip out on this way, magnetized. And then the ending here. That's tape. And then there's the back. Love, love it. Love it. Very sturdy, heavy duty mini album. Lots of places to put your photos. Simple, sweet, and elegant. So if you're interested in purchasing this mini album, check the link below. And let's go ahead and go to my pre-recorded intro. You'll need double-sided tape. I get this tape from, I get it online, but it's just double-sided adhesive. And these are all, it's only a little bit left. That's why I have 3 of them. But you will need a lot of double-sided adhesive just to make sure. Maybe not 3 rolls, but 1 good roll. And, of course, you'll need some scissors. And you need a paper trimmer. That's like your basics. You need ATG tape or some type of adhesive tape to mat your papers with. I left my ATG gun somewhere else, and I have time to do this part of the video today. So for today, I'm going to use, if I need to, aside from double-sided tape, I'm going to use some wet glue. You also need some magnets. I keep my magnets in this Altoid tin. They stay very well. And then you'll need some chipboard. Just an example, because I already have my chipboard already cut out and everything. It's over there. But you'll need some chipboard. And this is heavyweight chipboard. I get this from Amazon. I'll put a link below. I really love this chipboard. It's medium weight and it's very sturdy. You can also use cereal boxes and other just recycled chipboard that you have on hand. And then you'll need cardstock. I'm using this Michaels, this Recollection brand cardstock from Michaels. It is 100 and, gosh, I think it's 120 pound weight. It's really, or 110, maybe it's 110, but that mug's like chipboard. I swear it's hard to cut through this, but the book will be sturdy, so I love it. And my base cardstock is black, so the pattern paper, you just want to coordinate it with whatever pattern paper you'll be using. The majority, over 99% of this mini album will be using 8.5 by 11 cardstock, but you will need a few sheets of 12 by 12 in the same color. Well, you'll need 12 by 12 coordinating. And I have 4 here, so hopefully that'll be enough to bind my cover with, because the book is 8 by 8. Of course, this is 8.5 by 11. It won't fit all the way around. It's going to be short, and we don't want to make it a struggle. So you'll need a few sheets of the 12 by 12, unless you just want to try to work with the 8.5 by 11. And then you'll need your pattern paper. I'm using Heidi Swapp's paper pad that I got from Tuesday Morning. This was only $6.99. And I forget the name of this pad, but it's a Christmas pad. And let's see, I think I had trouble finding the name of this last time. I don't know. Just a Heidi Swap paper pad. So that's what it looks like. And of course, I have already I already have my signatures cut out so that the video will be easy for me. So that's why the paper pad's all wonky and ate up, because I've already done like all the work, so the videos will go easier. So get a nice new paper pad, because you'll need a lot of papers on that. I don't have much left of that 12 by 12. And for decorations, my cover will be simpler than my other mini albums. The things that I have pulled out to use is this burlap ribbon. It's from the Target dollar bin. Of course, I have some twine. I try to incorporate twine because I love it. Or jute rope is what that is. And then I have some Celebrated brand Christmas ribbon that was left over from my Christmas packaging. And just a couple of little embellishments here. I'm going to try to use this frame. I got that from the Michaels dollar bin. I have some leftover Jingle Bells from the Dollar Tree. And then I have some flatback pearls in red and white. Some leftover Michaels flowers from Christmas from the $1.50 bin, as well as the acrylic flowers from the $1.50 bin. Want to scrap swirl bling piece. I want to try to use some of these metal pieces that I got in a swap from Scrapping for My Boys. This is that flower package that I did a tutorial dupe on, so I'm going to try to use that. And then I have some embellishments that I got from Michaels, and I'm not sure where these came from Tuesday Morning. Must have. No, these were a gift. These were wrapped to me by, I think, Luisa Diaz, who is Kitty Scrap Post, I believe, gave me these. So these embellishments, they coordinate with the paper, and maybe try these. These are like buttons, so may or may not fit. I don't know. We will see when we get there. So gather up your supplies that you'll need, and we're going to work on our bones of the mini album. See you soon. Okay, in between that recording, I went and got my HEG gun, because I don't know if I could sit and do that with the wet glue the whole time. So you'll need that, of course, and I got my extra rolls of tape. But I forgot to mention that you will need your scoreboard, bone folder, and also a corner rounder if you're going to do the edges as I have, and I have a crocodile corner chomper. Okay, so now that we have all of our tools, let's get started. What I like to do first is take out my covers that I'm going to use, so I know that when I'm matting, I just don't grab, I don't have, I can use all the papers that are available, and I'm not constantly thinking of, wait, I'm going to save that for my cover. So I just take them out, and I cut them, and it's over with. So I cut down 2 covers, or 2 pieces of pattern paper that I would like to use for my cover, and that's this. I cut it down to 8 by 8 for both of them. Inside pages, on the inside covers, 2 at 8 by 8. Also, I'm going to use a binder, you know, some paper to go around the binding, kind of like that. And this is cut at 6 by 8. And then the piece that I'm going to use for the spine on the inside, and this is cut at 2.5 by 8. So I take that, put that aside. That way I can just grab any paper that I want when I'm matting. So you'll need 2 pieces of chipboard, and I'm using lightweight chipboard, and this is cut at 8.5 by, I'm sorry, it's cut at 8 by 8, and this is cut at 2.5 by 8, and it is the spine. So, and then this is serial weight chipboard for this. So, and I have them marked, obviously, so that I can keep track of what my stuff is, so because I have it all cut out already. So I'm going to use my 12 by 12 paper. This is Recollections brand paper from Michaels, and that's what I'm going to use to cover up my chipboard. I'm just taking my stickers off the back. For this, you want to use double-sided tape. Let's get this together. Let's connect the 2 pieces together, the 2 12 by 12s. I'm just going to apply some double-sided tape. You guys have seen me do this a few times. Just going to apply 2 strips of double-sided tape, and this will connect these 2 together. Extending this 12 by 12. Okay, just make sure that's adhered on there. Now you can take your papers, your chipboard, and apply your tape. So make sure you're not stingy with the double-sided tape, because you do not want to hear that awful crackling sound when people are opening up your mini album. Believe me, you don't want to hear that. So I add tape all around the corners and in the middle. And I do that to all of the pieces. And my double-sided tape is running out. Okay. And one in the middle. And then for your spine, which again is 8 by 2.5. Nice thick spine. I told you guys I used a lot of tape on this one. Okay. Oops. Now I am going to put one down the middle. Might as well finish this roll out. I'm going to grab my bone folder. Just really reiterate this. This is a really lightweight chipboard. Make sure it sticks. Okay. All right. Now it's time to adhere them. So take off your the double-sided tape, and you can eyeball where you want this to lay, but you just want to make sure that you're leaving enough of a border around the outer side to fold it over. You don't want to put it too close to the edge. You're going to cut off the excess, so you might as well give yourself enough room. So but you want enough room on the side to fold it over. You have plenty enough room to play with if you're using a 12 by 12. This is what I was talking about when I was talking about the 8.5 by 11. You would only have like a 1/4 inch to fold over your edges. So that's why 12 by 12 works well. So I'm just going to center this, leaving enough on my edge. Make sure that's on there really good. Okay, now it's time for the spine piece. And I usually try to leave about 1/8 of an inch between the two. Sometimes a 1/16 of an inch, but 1/8 of an inch works well. And I really just eyeball it, how big I want the space to be. See, just that little space there. And that is about 1/8 of an inch. Okay. And this last piece. I usually have my scissors out here. Help me with the tape issue. Okay. And again, with this, just line it up as best you can and adhere it down. Make sure it's adhered down really well on all the sides, that everything is sticking. Give it a nice good massage. Okay. Now you can take your bone folder and just gently kind of mark off around the edges. That way when you fold it up, you know, it's the paper already know it's getting ready to fold and it doesn't crack. So I just like to do that. Especially with that 110-pound weight cardstock. That's a thick cardstock. Okay. So now you just want to fold over your edges and give it a good crease. See, we've prepped the paper already, so it knows that it needs to be bending. Really easy. Just be gentle. Okay. Okay. Now you can cut off any excess that you want. So I'm going to do that down here. Just do it all the way around. I'm leaving about 3/4 to an inch around the edges to fold over. Easy peasy. Okay, now where the corners intersect, you want to just miter those. So I'm going to show you. You have this line, and then it creates this little intersection right there. You just want to go right above it. So like, that's the paper here. And if you were cutting, you'd cut. You won't be able to see that, but maybe you will. You cut right about there, right above where they intersect. So like that. See, there's a little hangover. Okay, and you just want to do that for all of the corners. Okay, and then you want to apply some double-sided tape on the edge so that it can adhere securely to the book. And then we're going to cut a V in a minute. I just find it easier to apply the tape first than trying to cut the tape up in sections around that, to save that little 1/2 inch of tape. Okay, so let's cut our V out here. And all we're doing is so that this folds easy when you're closing the book, is cutting a little sliver out from the end of the paper right into the score mark, right just up into the score mark by the spine. So like right there. Don't go past the score mark because then you're cutting into your book. Just go up to the score mark. Like so. And do that on both sides. And it just makes it nice when you fold over and close your book. You don't have that clumpiness going on. Okay. So let's take our tape off. Fold it over. I am going to add a little bit of ATG tape in between where the double-sided tape stops. See, I wouldn't have been able to do that with that wet glue. I would have been holding that forever. And as impatient as I am, that wouldn't have worked. I'm just going to add one roll of ATG tape in there for added security. And then fold these over. Okay, and do that to the other side. So if you guys are doing this along with me, I would love to know about it. Shout out to the ladies who completed the last mini album and did videos. Awesome job. I love to see everyone's interpretation of something that I did. And I can always learn to do different tricks from everybody. So that's that. Just roll that over. Sharpen those edges. And then gently fold it. Get that spine crease going gently. Okay. Super cute. That's a start. Alright, now let's get our, I only used 2 sheets of 12 by 12 for that. So that's awesome. So while we have it out, I might as well, no, I may need that for something else later. Let's cut the middle here down. So this is 8 by 8. We're just going to cut it to 8. And then let's see. And I'm using the 8.5 by 11 cardstock. I know I'll need 2, but I just want to make sure this is not going over. And it's not. So cut 2 pieces. Get 2 pieces of 8.5 by 11. So one will be cut just down to 8. And then the other one will be cut down to 8 by, I'm guessing it's going to be like 5. Let's see. 8 by, let's just do 8 by 8. So 8 by 11, and then one at 8 by 8. Let's see how that works out. Okay. I'm going to use double-sided tape on this one. Seeing as though this is the base. ATG tape will work fine too. Just make sure you add enough. Middle. ATG tape in the middle of that. Okay. Let's go ahead and peel this up and lay this down. Hope I'm not going too fast for you guys. I tend to forget. But, oh shoot, I'm supposed to go slow. As you know, when you get mojo and you gone, you pretty much focus on that, and everything else fades to dark. So just line this paper up as best you can with the edges, just like so. Make sure you get in there really good. And then I'm just going to gently find my crease, and then I'm going to get my bone folder and kind of massage that in there, because it's now 2 thick layers of cardstock on here. See, right there. Okay, and then you just want to go ahead and just gently fold that over on both sides. I can't get to this one. There we go. It's tight, but you want to just gently fold it over. Like I said, this is some thick cardstock, very thick. Just take your time. Okay. Now the 8x8 piece, that fits perfectly, and this keeps coming up, so I'm going to add, I almost not have went all the way to the edges with that, but it's okay. My friend the hot glue gun is right by my side. That'll keep that seal down. Okay, and then we're just going to add some double-sided tape to this 8x8 piece. And one more. All right. Okay. Let's get that adhered on there really good. Now I try to match up with the outer corners, not so much worrying about, if my paper is too short, I will work on the outside corners, because the inside, no one's really going to pay attention to that, and plus it'll be covered by so much other cardstock. So concentrate on getting these edges perfect as you can. Just massage that in there. Perfect, perfect. I love it. Okay. So that's the base. This is what you have now set for your base. Easy peasy. Now let's go ahead and get the covers, inside covers on, and the pages. Okay, now let's get our papers together. And remember, in the beginning we set aside the papers that we wanted to use. So let's go ahead and lay those down. So I had you cut them at 8x8 just so you can see if you want to border or not. Most of the pages in this, all of the pages in this mini album has a 1/4 inch border. So just to be in sync with that, I'm going to go ahead and cut this down to 7 3/4 by 7 3/4. And these are the inside flaps. Oh, by the way, did you guys notice I got a new blade? No more cutting after you cut. Shout out to Audrey. All right, 7 3/4 by 7 3/4. Okay, and also check and make sure, you know, once you add paper and the way you score it, your spine may be less than what originally you intended. So with all the paper added, this is cut at 2.5 by 8. But when I close it, I see that it bends just a tiny bit, and I don't want that to interfere. So I'm going to cut it, instead of 2.5, I'm going to cut it, I mean, sorry, not 2.5, yeah, 2.5. I'm going to cut it down 1/8 of an inch. So that is 2 3/8 is what this will be. Yeah. So I just cut it down just a sliver, because I don't want it to interfere with the closing of the book and all. So, you know, I'll have to cut this down. Also have to cut this down to 7 3/4 like the other, just so everything can match up. And just to do that, I'm just going to copy this page here. So, I'm going to grab my ATG gun and add some tape to the back of my spine piece. And this goes underneath your signatures, or your pages, so it's just not plain in the back. I'm just going to add this to my spine. And then add my cover pieces. Inside cover pieces. Make sure if you have a directional pattern paper, you have that going the right way. And then I'm going to add the other inside cover. Just match that up that way. Line it up the best way you can. That's the inside. Now I didn't cut the covers yet because I'm not sure on the direction that I'm going to go. If I'm going to put this, I was thinking of using this as a whole and then using those filigree pieces on the end. I'm not sure yet. I'm going to continue to think about that. But in the meantime, we just put these aside, and we come back to that when we get to that part. Okay, so now we're going to work on our flange for the binding, and we're going to need the scoreboard. So you'll need 2 pieces of cardstock of your pattern, whatever pattern paper you're using, or base paper you're using. Try to match it up with that. And it's cut at 7 3/4. You need two pieces. So one is cut at 7 3/4 by 3 7/8, and then one is cut at 7 3/4 by 3 1/8, and then you want to score at 1 inch on both sides. So this is my first one. I have to do it 2 times because again this paper is really thick, just to make sure I'm getting the right crease. Or getting the crease in there really good, rather. And then this one. Okay. And then we want to gently fold those over, following that score mark. We only need 4, and we only need 2 of these because we only have 4 signatures. And then that's going to fit right inside there. We do have a blank spine piece, and we can cover that later. Or a piece that'll be empty. Alright. Once these flanges get on here, we'll be good to go. You want to miter off the corners just a little bit, and that is just taking your scissors and cutting a sliver off the edge on all the sides. Just a little bit. Just cutting off at an angle. Alright, and now we just want to, I'm going to add some ATG tape. Actually, I'm going to add some double-sided tape to the back. Okay. This piece down here, we just want to make sure that this stays on securely as securely as it can. And I love this cardstock. It's harder to work with, but it's sturdy. My gosh. Okay. And then that just lines up middle. It's the best way you can. Center. Okay. And then we're going to flip the whole thing over and do the same thing to the back. Making sure you don't go past the score marks. Just go right up to that edge. Okay. Now some people like to not adhere their pages until the very end. Like they'll make their pages up and not attach them to the book until the very end. Some people attach them all and decorate them while they're on the book. The choice is totally up to you on how you want to do it. So we're just going to take this piece, I'm going to turn it so I can see a little bit better what I'm doing, and then we're going to apply this to the center of the spine as best we can. And if you cut it the same length that I cut it, it's exactly the length of the spine piece. Okay. Perfect. Love it, love it, love it. Now if you want to just take a quick moment, fold over your flanges to give them a good crease so they can fold back and forth a bit easier when you're flipping the pages. And that's why we put the little piece back here. It's not a big deal, but you know, so when you're flipping the pages you can see, you know, this little decoration in the back. So that's super cute. So now you can put a little decorative piece in here. This is 1 inch. So if you want to, you can cut a little piece off. And I don't know, I just dropped my little piece somewhere, but we'll pull out our scraps and just cut a piece in the middle there. And if you want that to fit all the way to the end, I mean, if you want it to be a little bit wider, then just cut it to the whole full inch. I just don't want anything to interfere with my pages, so that's fine. So we're done with that part, and this is what we should have so far. Awesome. So let's go ahead and get ready to make our pages. Okay, the next thing we want to do is to add double-sided tape to our flanges on both sides, and I'm going to add them to the bottom close to the book itself, because we're going to slide the papers down on top of them. So we're going to do the front and the back of all the flanges. Now in order for, we're going to make these, which is what I didn't do on the last mini album, we're going to have these have where you can pull out an insert. So you don't want to have it where when you put your page in, this little flap keeps when you put your page on top, your insert keeps bumping against this little flap. So we'll need to put some adhesive on the top of one side so that it stays flat. I hope that makes sense. Add tape to the top of one side of the flange. Okay. And I hope that makes sense. All right, let's make one of the bases here. And you'll need 2 sheets of cardstock. One sheet cut at 8 by 8 and one sheet cut at 10 by 8. A little cheat sheet. Okay. We're going to take the one that's 10 by 8 and we're going to score it at 1 inch and 9 inches. And this is on the 10-inch side, obviously. Okay, we're going to gently fold this over. Gently fold that over. Use my bone folder. And we're going to add double-sided tape to this outer piece here. Where we just scored. We're going to add some tape to the bottom, on both sides. And then one more sheet. You can use ATG for this top part here, but that's sitting there. Make sure that's on. All right, remove your adhesive. Okay. And then we're going to apply the 8 by 8 on top. So I'm going to start with one side and just line that up perfectly. I can't do it with this angle here. Let's see. Just line that up perfectly with the edge as best you can. And then do the same for the other side. Okay. Fold it over. Now you may have some overhang. Flip it over and see if you have any overhang. I have a tiny little lip. I'm just going to take my scissors and cut it off. Because when you score, it just sometimes, you know, you just got overage. See? Just little slivers. Not much. So there you go. You have an 8 by 8 sheet of paper that's going to slide on your base. Take your base over here. I'm going to do one, but I would need you to create 3 more of these. You need to create 3 more of these bases. So let's start. I'm going to take off your one side at a time, your double-sided tape. And then the other side. Okay, carefully, we're going to, all right, I see some overhang of tape that I don't like. Carefully, you can see if you made any mistakes, you know, you want the worst side on the inside, but if you did everything correctly, it shouldn't be a problem. Now we want to keep this kind of bowled open so it doesn't stick until you're ready for it to stick. Center it. Put this on top of it. See? It's in there. Center right on top of it. Get it to where you want it. Line up properly. And then close it. I just close this side. And then I'll close this side. Lay it down. Okay. This is unforgiving. So if you mess up, you can try your best. If it's not adhered, but it's messed. It's on there. So just make sure you get it on there how you want to get it on there. So that's the first one. And I have already created my other 3. So we're going to go ahead and apply these. Super cute. Gotta love it. So now you can, while you got your paper out, you can cut your piece to what you want your insert to be. This is cut at 7 by 7. You know, you have a little bit more room, but you really don't want anything poking out. I mean, it's right there. So you have enough to maybe put a little tab there if you want, but that's in there. You maybe can go 7 1/4 by 7, but I just have mine cut at 7 by 7. That's enough room. So you want to make 4 of those, or how many ever inserts you want to put in there. You can fit 2 in there, I believe. And then you want to make 4 of those, and you want to make 4 bases, and then come back.